Let's begin with the reading. Let beer be for those who are perishing, wine for those who are in anguish. Let them drink and forget their poverty and remember their misery no more. That's Proverbs 31, and I don't care if you believe it or not, its words still hold true. A lot of you all may be in a college scenario, maybe you're in a fraternity, maybe you're in a club, maybe you're living in a house with other people from college, and you think that what you do on Friday nights it's brotherhood, it's sisterhood. Well, I'm going to tell you that's fake. People that are there for nightlife and nothing else are not your real brothers. They're not your real sisters. They're not your real friends. That's BS. You must know someone to love them. They don't even know you. The only thing you discuss is the sports ball game while you're plastered drunk, if you even have any conversation. Most of it's unintelligible discussion about more drinks you're going to be having. True friendship requires communication, admonishment, correction, and results. The fruit of a good friendship is going to be strengthened and matured characters of both people. Debauchery is not friendship. Your friendship is just an excuse to drink. And it's almost like you're expected to nowadays, and you're frowned on if you don't drink. You're belittled if you don't. What a loser. You're not going to come out with us? You can't even have a conversation at parties sometimes because people don't know how to have one. They're too plastered. Even when they're drunk, they can't have a good conversation. And then what's the result of this? You get bar fights. People get shot at bars, outside the bars, punched in the back of the heads, put into comas, DUIs, hangovers, late to work, gynecomastia, your little man tits, your gains are killed, you feel terrible. For some people, maybe, but for most of you all, substance abuse, such of things like weed, alcohol, nicotine, caffeine, mushrooms, LSD, cocaine, whatever substance you're depending on, relying upon, is most likely just a cope for the fact that you haven't learned how to deal with stressors the right way. Life is suffering, and it will come with its burdens, challenges, and losses. And you're missing all of those. You're just numbing yourself. Deep down, you know that you don't actually like the drinking. It's just an addiction. You won't admit it. Oh, I can stop whenever I want. Then stop. You're just trying to drown out your true feelings, and you can't sleep maybe, so you drink. You can't sleep because you're anxious and stressed, so you drink. You're not wanting to feel anything. You're not taking accountability. You're distorting reality, distracting yourself from what needs to be done. So you got to think, why is alcohol, why is X, why is Y, why is Z so available? Why is it everywhere? So easy to get, even though it's so harmful, and it's keeping you from your full potential. You're missing the beauty and the fullness of life. It's because somebody's greedy, and they know they can make money off your vices, and they know that when it comes down to it, you'd rather spend a ton of money, waste your funds on these substances than face up to the truth of it all. Some of you will complain that you're broke. Oh, I can't go on that trip. It's too expensive. What was your bar tab last week? $110? You didn't even get a cool drink. You got some little fruity drink that's mainly just corn syrup. And yeah, sure, it's a part of the culture. It's the college culture. It's the fraternity culture. It's the army culture. It's the whatever you're in culture. But there's some cultural confusion there, because the same people that are saying, let's go get drunk, it's a part of our nature, it's a part of our culture, it's camaraderie, are the same ones that are mad at you when you show up late to work, or you smell like alcohol, or you get the DUI. They're causing the problem, and then they're mad at you for what they've just caused. And you got to think, does it really bond us? Do we really need to really just get together and drink? Are we all just together? Are we having the most deep conversations when we're drunk? How do we get here again, right? Maybe it's the massive industry, alcohol, tobacco, the growing marijuana industry that's pushing this on you. There might be some legitimate medical reasons to take some of these substances, but for 99% of you, that's not the reason you're taking it. You know it. We both know it. It seems anything you go to, it's a sports game, celebration, mourning someone's death, you're graduating, you're dropping out, got a new job, you got fired from a job, you broke up, you got a new girlfriend. Drink. What is the value in it? Maybe there's some value in moderation, right? It can loosen you up or allow you to enjoy the music a little bit better, or the feelings of what you're doing better. But For most people, they can't moderate it. So you have to say, it's probably better to remove this stumbling block, this obstacle in my way for myself and for others around me than it is to let them fall when they inevitably do fail to moderate themselves. How many friends do you know that say, yeah, well, let's go, we'll go to the bar, we'll get like 1 or 2 drinks, we'll be home at like 10 p.m., we'll get some good sleep. They're there till 2 p.m., they're your ride, they're too drunk, they said they were only have 1 or 2 drinks, sober up and drive you home. You're sitting there till 2 a.m. waiting to get a ride home. Whole next day is shot. Just strip it away. You don't really need it. Throw it out. So that's part 1 of this video. Part 2 of this video is going to be, how can I quit my addictions, let all these dependencies that are holding me back be shed away from me, and move on. Specifically through the tool of cold immersion therapy. For me, when I've had struggles with addictions, the way I found that I can handle them effectively in a very quick manner is by replacing that desire for dopamine. That's what dopamine is. Dopamine is the craving that you're feeling for whatever you're addicted to. If you're a vapor and you like to vape, you're wanting to hit your vape, really you're just wanting a hit of dopamine. And you can get dopamine in good ways. There's good ways to get dopamine. You get dopamine when you're hanging out with your friends. You get dopamine when you're hiking. You get dopamine when you're driving a car fast. There's many things that provide dopamine. They can be good or bad. So replace that vape, which is destroying your lungs. It's full of toxic chemicals, heavy metals, seed oils. Replace it with some good dopamine. And for me, you might need to find one that works, but this video is going to be about how deliberately exposing yourself to cold can provide that needed dopamine and that replacement temporarily, or as long as you like it, because I'd still like the cold therapy, until you can quit whatever you're on. So what I mean by cold therapy, it could be a cold shower, an ice bath, it can even be going outside in the snow, a cold lake, or just a super cold, windy day. But what this does, cold exposure is going to enhance your mood, your energy, your focus, because you're going to get significant releases of adrenaline, prolonged release of dopamine, and many other endorphins in your brain. And these can be applied to other mental and physical activities afterwards. So let's say you were originally craving a hit from your vape, and you decide, I'm going to go take a quick cold shower, or I'm going to go splash my face with cold water even at a micro level. And now you feel a lot more motivated to go actually do something productive. Also, the cold exposure is going to help you build resilience and grit, and that's going to carry over to situations in life unless you actually learn how to cope with stress the right way. Instead of hitting your vape, you now have strategies to deal with stress. It's very stressful to be in a freezing cold ice bath at 33 degrees. It hurts. There's pain. You're shaking because it's cold. Every signal in your brain is saying get out, and you're sitting there resisting it, trying not to move, maintaining a clear, calm mind. That's a skill that's extremely valuable. And then, if I can't convince you some more, there's physical benefits that are periphery that make this even more appealing if you're trying to quit some sort of addiction. You're going to get increased metabolism, which is going to let you burn more fat when you increase your cold tolerance, because your body's going to be burning calories in order to increase its core temperature. The white fat is going to be turning into brown fat. This is what cold adaptation is. It's pretty cool to go outside in negative 31 degree weather for 40 minutes with a t-shirt, without a t-shirt on, just shorts, no shoes, no socks. I did that with some friends. I was fine. That's pretty cool. That's an added benefit of using the cold exposure as a way to stop your vices. And all you need to get those added benefits is about 11 minutes per week. And I bet some of you each day are feeling the urge to hit your vape more than 11 times. So if you took 1 minute ice baths 11 times a day, you're already hitting the minimum threshold to get those additional benefits. So it's like, why not? It really cannot hurt. One step further to get more added benefits, shivering actually releases a chemical from your muscles that helps your brown fat warm you up. So you're going to want to air dry. You don't want to towel off. You don't want a hot shower. This also makes it harder. It makes it more difficult mentally. It's a harder game to play, which is going to help you deal with the stress even more. So eventually, you might not even need the cold shower to not hit your vape. Maybe you can just get through it and you can cope with the situation that's triggering your want of that vape. But again, you're going to get increased recovery, decreased soreness from the ice baths. My 3 rules that I want you to practice for mental toughness before you can get out of the ice bath or the cold shower: you cannot stop moving when you're in there. So if you get in and you just sit there stone cold, you're not moving, that doesn't count. And the reason is you're building a thermal layer around your skin that's heated water. It's not as cold. So you need to be moving constantly underneath the water. Number 2, you need to control your breathing. If you're in there and you haven't dealt with the stress appropriately, utilize some breathing control in order to deal with that stress. And number 3 is you need to dunk your head at some point, because a lot of people get into the neck and they'll avoid the hardest part, which is submerging your head. So I want you to try and see if you can't quit your addiction in the next 30 days by implementing a cold shower or a cold bath whenever you feel an urge to indulge in whatever addiction you have. Thank you.